Hello guys, welcome to the new video. In this video I want to talk about the Google Docs as an alternative to Microsoft Office Word. This is the second part of these videos that I make. In the first part I talked about Microsoft Office Word, the web application, Android application, and also the Windows application. Especially if you're using the Chromebook, it's important to know what kind of if you will have some compatibility issues if you open some document that is prepared on the Windows device on the Chromebooks. If you didn't check that out, I will put it on the description, the link for it, so you guys can easily go and have a look. But in this video, I will focus on the Google Docs, which is easy to use on the Chromebook devices. And I will talk about the compatibility between the Google document and also Google Docs document and the Microsoft Office Word. If you try to open them, for example, the Microsoft Office Word document using the Google Docs, how it will look like. And eventually I will talk about the Overleaf, which is a LaTeX compiler. It's online, it's free to use. And also LibreOffice Writer, which is a Linux application, which you can also use it on the Windows devices. You can also install Linux, or also in the Chromebooks, you have the Linux, so you can also install this application. So this will be also a good alternative for the Microsoft Office Word and Google Docs. So hope you guys will enjoy this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. After you open the document, you're familiar with the toolbar here. It's similar to what you can find on the Windows, like Microsoft Word. You have the options to do bold, italic, or put the underline, change of color, also the text. Also you have here this normal text, title, subtitle, which you can use it for making the table of contents. You have this alignment and also spacing, and also the numbering the list, for example. And here on the right side you have this editing mode, which means that you can edit the document or write that document. Then you have the suggesting, it becomes suggestions, and then you have the viewing option, which you cannot edit anymore. It's just for reading and for the final, saving the document. And you can check it if everything is okay. From the top, you have some options here. For example, one of the most important options is what kind of documents you can save this. You can come here to download. You can see that for this Google Doc document, you can save them as Microsoft Word, and also you can save it as PDF document, which are mostly popular. Also, you can have the EPUB publication, which is also format for the ebook readers. Then you have the edit option. It's clear here. View option is showing the ruler, for example, on top. And the most important part is insert. Here you can insert the image. You can do a table, for example. I can maybe show that here in the table. You can also color the table. You get some additional toolbox here for editing the table. You can color the table using here, that option. And also you can also merge the cells. So if I come here, select two cells and right click, then I can merge them together. You're familiar with these also in the Microsoft Word. Then I can come also do drawing. This is really one of the best features, I would say, in the Google Docs. I think Microsoft should do a similar thing. Here you can do drawings, for example, with shapes. And it is much better than what Microsoft offers with the shapes in the Windows application and also Android application. I showcased that also in the previous video, that this option doesn't exist in the web application. So here you can come and color them also, and also you can come and make a line. You have also some points here that you can use. This is also really useful. I can also select this if I can do that. Move it, move the point here, and also here you can change the colors again, and also you can change the thickness of this line. And the most interesting part is you can come to the action. You can go to download and download this as a PDF file, image, or PNG file, which can be also really useful. Now you can save it, and now the shape will appear here. You can also align it in the center here. Then you can also do charts here. It's also one thing that you cannot find in Windows, like a web application, the Microsoft Office web application. You have the chart here. In order to change that, you have to come here and go to the open source, and open source will be a Excel data which also exists in these Google Docs and tables option. And here you can change the, for example, the values here. I can give 100 here. And when you do that, you have to come back here and press update, and now this line will get 100 as a value. What else we have here? We have also making horizontal line, which is also nice to make actually for making your document here. You have equations. When you click on the equations, you can write equations. This that we don't have also in the Microsoft Office web application. Here I can write, for example, alpha plus, I can write also beta here, is equal to 1, for example. You can see that it's easy to write equation. You can also change the font of the equation. That's not also a problem. And you have also special characters that you can use. You have headers and footers, so you can also click on the top box here. This is a header. You can write this as a test, and this will be your header. And you can do the same thing for the footer, and so you have also the page numbers that you can also activate. I can do it on top here, and the page number will be shown here. Then we have the formatting for text, paragraphs, and also one more thing about the insert. You can insert the table of contents from here. And for that, as I said, that you have to, for the text that you wrote, then you have to change the format of this text from here to the paragraph style based on heading. Also, you can do it from here. Then you can make the table of contents. Then you have to again line spacing. Also columns is also really easy to do, to make 2 columns, 3 columns in your document here. Then you have again another tools. You have new option here, compare documents, so you can compare the document. It will detect which part of the document is like new. You have the citation option, you have the word count. In general, the Google Docs, the web application, it's much complete than the Windows Office web application. And you have the add-ons, and in the add-ons, you can go to the different options that you have. Especially in the from bottom, you can select works with docs, which we're using Google Docs, and you can install all of these like extension or add-ons on your Google Docs and use them. The problem that I usually face using these add-ons, that if you try to convert it to, for example, another document like Microsoft Word document and open it there, then you will have some compatibility issues. The same was also in the Microsoft Office web application. You could also use add-ons there, but when you use it, you save it, you try to open it in the Windows application of the Office, then you have the same problem there. And then you have some help option here. But in general, as I said, Google Docs is much complete compared to the Windows Office web application. Clearly so. The Google Docs is clearly better than Microsoft Office Word web and Android application. For that, you can check the first part of this video. There, in the web application, you don't have like charts, you cannot do shapes or drawing, and also the equation is, you can only do it using the add-ons, but then you have the compatibility issues. In the Android app, you could not do table of contents or charts, but in the Google Docs, it works perfectly. But again, if I want to compare the Microsoft Office Word Windows application to the Google Docs, of course, the Windows application of the Microsoft Office has much more features. So I would recommend Google Docs. If you're using the Chromebook, I would recommend it for small, like writing some documents. It's perfect. I would recommend it over the web application of the Microsoft Office and Android application. But then there comes the question, how is the compatibility with Microsoft Office Word? Let's continue. Now I will try to open this document, which I prepared on the Microsoft Office Word application on Windows. I will now try to open it with Google Docs. And here in the right side, I have opened this document using the Android application. And you guys can clearly see that the document, the same document, but in the Google Docs, it doesn't look properly. There's a compatibility issue. But this also in the left side, it is opened using this, I would say, extension that Google Docs has to editing the Office documents. I realized when I come here and save as the Google Docs, I will do that. Now it will change the format of this document from Docs, from the Word that you have it in the Microsoft Office, to the Google Doc format. And now you guys can see that everything will look perfectly here. I don't know why Google Docs have this extension for editing the Office document when it doesn't work properly. And now we have this in the Google Doc format, and you guys can see that everything looks clear. The table of contents, you can also update it, so it's active here. Also the pictures, you can resize them, that's not a problem. Tables, you can also add in the tables, you can edit the tables also from here. Not exactly from here. I have to make it a little bit larger here to see. Yeah, here you have the options here. You can clearly edit the table as I showcased also before. You have the shapes here. I will bring it back here to compare it with the original document here. You guys see that it looks also okay here with the shapes. Here you can also edit the shapes here, the size of them, and you can click on the edit and it will open this drawing part for the Google Docs, so it works perfectly here. You have also headers, you have the footers, you have the page numbers, you have the equations also, that works also nice. You can also write equations here. The only thing that I realized doesn't work is these charts that I made in the Microsoft Office, but it didn't work also in the Android application and also in the web application. It only works on the Microsoft Office Word Windows application. So you cannot edit this, this is just the image here. So now I edited this document using the Google Docs. So this is a Google Docs format. I changed few stuff here, especially here in the table. I changed the color to see how the coloring works. I can also maybe merge these two. We can also check that also if it will work. And the Microsoft Office Word application on Windows, that's where I will check the compatibility issue. I made this small drawing here so we can see how the drawing will look like there. The equation here, and also the chart is also a Google Tables chart here, and we will see how it will look like in the Microsoft Office Word application. For doing that, I have to download this as a Microsoft Word format. I did that. Now I will open it in the Windows application to see how it will look like. So now I have this document that I prepared in Google Docs open using the Microsoft Office Word application on the Windows. So if you're in the Windows platform, I want to see if you prepare in the Chromebook, let's say, the document using the Google Docs, how it will look like on the Windows application of the Microsoft Office. So you guys can see here, I have to first enable editing. So let me also come back to one page view. Okay. So the title, everything, the headers look good. Table of contents also works, so you can update it. Let's also try that. I can add some S here to see updating will work. Yeah. Now we have to see that the figures should get some more S if it works. Until I had to do that entire table. Now you guys can see that it's updated. So the table of contents work. The numbering here works. The pictures look good. The coloring of the tables also look good. The merging of these cells also worked that I did. So that also worked. This image that I prepared using the drawing also detected as an image and also shape here. So in the Office you can easily edit that, and also the text here, also the line thickness, everything works perfectly. The equation works perfectly. Let's see about the charts. Yeah, there's a chart problem. The charts always are detected as images, because for the charts they need also to use, in the Windows you need to use the Excel, and in the Google Docs you need to use the Google Tables. So always the charts are detected as images. That's actually the main problem. The rest is working. So based on what I showed you guys, I can make this conclusion that in the Google Docs you can open the Microsoft Office Word document, but you have to change the format from the docx, which is a Word file format, to the gdoc, which is a Google Doc format. Then everything works almost fine. Only charts is not supported. It's a similar thing in the Windows Office. If you prepare docs format on the Google Docs, it also works fine. Again, the charts are not supported, because for the charts, as I said, you need to use like Excel or tables as a add-ons kind of. Now I want to talk shortly about the alternatives to the Microsoft Office Word, which is one of them is Overleaf LaTeX compiler and the LibreOffice Writer, which is a Linux application. I will start with the Overleaf here. You have to register. After that, you have your project here. You can download your project from here. You can click download and it will download all the files inside, and it will be a zip format. I will open this LaTeX file here. I can show you guys shortly how it works. It's a bit more like coding, but this is a really professional way of making a Word document, I would say. And the format is not that you cannot open this document using the Microsoft Office. You will have always this LaTeX format, which you can use also using other LaTeX compiler. The Overleaf it's easy to use because you need to add some packages here and they're online, so you don't need to search for them. So it makes it a little bit easier. In the left side, you can make sections. And for example, here, the introduction, for example, you have the project's name. It's mainly a coding. And here, it's a little bit, needs a learning curve. You have to learn how it works. But after you learn, it gives you much pleasant Word or doc files kind of, which you can download eventually as a PDF file. So if I click on PDF, there will be a PDF document downloaded, and you can open it using the PDF viewer. This is more professional way of writing the documents, as I said, but you cannot use this written format in the Word document or Google Docs. This is LaTeX, and in order, for example, to share it with other people, you have to download it and send a zip file, and they can open it on their computer, or you can here come and share. You can click on the share, but this option usually, I think, is limited, and you have to pay for this feature. And you have also a review option, similar to what you can find in the Word and Google Docs. Here you can track the changes here. So that's also I have the LibreOffice Writer open. This is a Linux application which you can install on the Chromebooks or also on Windows if you have the Linux installed on it. This is much more professional and looks more similar to the Microsoft Office Word. Only I would say the user interface looks a little bit old-fashioned, I would say. But you get so many settings here. I will shortly show how the compatibility of this program with the Microsoft Office document is. For that, I need to open a file that I prepared on the Windows. I have it here. This is prepared on Windows. I can right-click, open it with the LibreOffice Writer. I will do open copy, so it will not rewrite on it. And you guys can see that here you will get the best compatibility here. Everything works perfectly. Table of contents also you can update it. That works also. I tried it. And the figures, tables, everything looks perfect. And LibreOffice actually, I could say, is one of my favorites. And the shapes also, you can change the shape, change the colors, everything works. Equation works perfectly here. Actually, here you can change all the equations here, and surprisingly, charts works also here. So that's also a big plus point here for the chart. You can click on it, you can come here, data table, it will show all the data. Because again, LibreOffice has also the Excel type of application, which is able to then detect this file and open it for you. So LibreOffice works perfectly. Only the UI is a little bit old-fashioned, I would say, and you need a larger screen. You cannot use, for example, Lenovo Chromebook Duet on it, because everything will get a little bit small on the top to use. Personally, if I want to choose an application on the Chromebooks for writing a text document, professionally, I will go with the Overleaf, with the LaTeX compiler and the LibreOffice writer. You have much more features, and also as I showcased, LibreOffice writer is much more compatible with the Microsoft Office document. If I want to make a small document, then I will go with Google Docs, as it has also more features than Microsoft Office Word web application and Android application. So these are my choices for the Chromebooks, I will say. In the next videos, I will talk about Excel and also PowerPoint, so we can also compare the features there on the web, Android, and the Windows application, and also in the Chromebooks with the Google apps. And also LibreOffice also has like the PowerPoint application, also Excel application, so we can see how the compatibility will be there. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope to see you guys in the next one.